pencils. So going through my storage, I found one of those fold out wooden boxes filled with just coloured pencils, and I feel like that's quite a normal thing, like, or at least in for British kids. Like, if you said that you are a fan of art, then your parents have no idea what to get you because they don't know art stuff, so they just got you this huge box of poor quality coloured pencils. And so, I was just like, maybe I can do something with this. I mean, I'm just storing my watercolour pencils, the actual good ones, in the box now, so what about the pencils that are left over? And as I think will be ruined by the title, the suspense is non-existent, I'm just going to try to make it into watercolour paint. So that's what this is. I'm just taking the lead out of the pencil, grinding it down, adding... ooh, what's it called? I can't remember, we'll see when we get to it, and adding the stuff to make it into watercolour, along with ASMR-esque, I don't actually like ASMR, but some grinding noises, so if that's what you like, good on you, have fun. I almost forgot to add, I'm not doing this right. I cut myself 3 times, which is pretty good for me. Don't try this at home, or do it smarter, because I ain't got no technique. The grinding process pretty simple. Got the lead out, put it in the bowl. I'd say make sure you don't leave any little shards of the wood. I'm saying that you should do this without actually showing the results, so wait until the end before you decide whether to waste your time with this, because it did take ages. It was like, I was really bored, but it took like a full 2 days, probably about 5 hours altogether, and my wrists really hurt. Also, it's a very loud process. My dad and brother came up and actually closed my door from them being downstairs watching television, and they watched it really loud, so it apparently very noisy, very distracting, and honestly quite fun. I'm not sure, I think, at least with these leads that I had, some of which were water soluble, so I don't know whether that affected the mix or whether it be the same if it's just wax-based pencil lead, no idea, but I found that a push down and crush motion was kind of more important in the beginning than the kind of swirly, grindy, normal, I don't know, pestle and mortar motion. Yeah, so I hope you enjoy the process of seeing these lumps become a colour. Ooh, speaking of, I did specifically pick these colours. I was trying to make a lilac, kind of a grey, a lavender, kind of grey purple. That wasn't what I ended up with, but you'll see what it ends up with in the end. I'm pretty happy about the shade, and hopefully you are too. last grind and we can get going with combining. Like, you can see the difference and how fine that is. That is just literally hours of grinding and hard work. It's definitely not more cost effective than just buying pigment. You can get some pretty cheap pigment, but it's fun. When you get past the grinding, it's only 3 ingredients that you need to work with. The pigment that you've already ground, and gum arabic, which is what I'm currently adding. It's a solid, if I think I'm right, it's some sort of a tree sap produce, and that's basically what is... I'm not sure how it works, the science of it, but it binds with the pigment, and then the honey, which I've got special fancy honey, and I paid £8 for this honey, which is expensive honey, and essentially that helps it to run smoothly, if I'm correct. Might not be. Feel free to tell me I'm not. I should have added a lot more, as I think you'll see, and also I don't know why I'm using this little silicone spatula thing, because I've gotten some little spoons. Like, if I don't know how well this will go, but I'm gonna do it again, so tell me if you want more videos of it. I've got some raw sienna that I want to make a dark brown out of, so that's less of an experiment, more of just trying to make that colour. Yeah, tell me if you like this like colour experiment though. So putting together, I mean, as you can see from the powder, it was mostly purples, a bit of blue, and a bit of white slash very light grey. Made this quite slightly purplish blue. I would say it's definitely a blue, not a purple, even though most of the lead in there was purple, so you never know. So, as you can see, the gum arabic is already combined with water. You can get it in a powder, or you can have to grind that too. And it just turned into a sludge. And then I added more gum arabic, and then more honey, and then more gum arabic, and more honey, and ground, and ground, and ground, until it was a texture I was fine with. So, see the process. The first stage of it possibly being done, it is very liquidy, especially if we compare it to the beginning of this part. It's drips, which is very different, and there's a lot of pigment stuck on the grinding stick, whatever, the pestle, I'm not sure which is which. And I just ground and continued. I did little tests throughout to see whether the pigment would stay on the paper or would flake away, and yep, I'll show you. Speak of the devil, and yes, that was my testing page, so that was my first try and then my second try. Is this? I think I did one more try, and then the final product. Please excuse the terrible paintings. I did them. I just did a background for one from I think 6-8 months ago, so it's not that bad, but well, I'm not that much better, but I think third test. Yeah, we don't rude. The pigment bound to a suitable degree, I don't know. Maybe it's poor quality, but good enough for me. I took the liquid and started dripping them. I did end up getting some sort of a spoony thing into the little watercolour moulds that I got. Yeah. Drippy drippy fun. I made a total of 10 from probably about 12 pencils, so I'm not sure about the return on that. And once again, I made this painting specifically, but it's still poor quality, sorry. But you can see kind of the degree of colour shade colours, the degree of shade change in this colour. And also I'm showing, this is a few days later, showing that it dried and then I could use it to paint, which I think is the purpose of watercolour paint. Either way, it's what makes it different from acrylic and other tube paints. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I think the technique works, so go ahead, try it out if you've got some cheap pencils, and have fun. Thank you for coming in, guys.